Oh, guys. For the most part, I don't pay attention to this type of stuff because I feel like the point is to create fake beef a lot of the time for the sake of promoting your own beauty products. But when a lot of internet hate gets involved, that really makes me mad. People make mistakes, but I really don't think it's okay to start these hashtags like so-and-so is over partying. It feels very high school. Like, this person can't sit with us anymore. And I am so tired of Twitter being the mean girls of social media. It's gotten way out of hand, and I think that we forget that we're talking about real people. People who are going to be affected by this amount of hate online. I'm sorry. The sun. Ooh, I gotta fix that lighting. I feel like that's moderately better. But anyways, since we are going to be discussing YouTube drama, I thought I should do my makeup while we talk about my thoughts. Unless you have been living under a rock or just don't use Twitter, you've probably heard about the drama between beauty guru YouTuber James Charles and fellow beauty guru YouTuber Tati. Tati was very instrumental in starting James Charles' career. She actually gave him a huge head start in the beauty industry and would feature him on her channel a lot.
James is here to do my bridal makeup, which is what I am wearing right now. I just wanted to congratulate you on almost 1 million on Instagram. I want to say huge congratulations to James Charles. If you have not checked his channel out on YouTube and you want to be inspired, he's a freaking teenager and he's like a genius with makeup. James Charles is the face of their holiday collection, and I saw him do a really cool look and it just made me want to try this palette.
So, as we all obviously know, James Charles blew up. He had previously 16 million followers on YouTube. He has been known for getting into a lot, and I mean a lot, of drama. As I stated before, I don't really pay attention to this type of stuff for the most part. That's a lie. I pay attention to the YouTube drama that I care about with YouTubers that I follow. I have never been massively into the beauty guru YouTube community. I really love Ready to Glaire's channel. She's one of my favorites. Edwin and Nina are amazing too. I'm also a big fan of Reagan Wolf and her body language videos. If you haven't watched them, you totally should. She's amazing. The point is, for the most part, I haven't really paid attention to anything that's ever gone on with James Charles, simply for the fact that I don't watch his videos. I'm gonna be real straightforward. I never really liked James's demeanor. He always seemed kind of way too into himself, if that makes sense. No beauty blenders for me. I'm a terrible beauty guru. And my lighting. I am so sorry, guys. I don't have diffuse lighting. This is gonna be a mess. You cannot make the false assertion that I am simply out here trying to defend my fave or whatever. I don't even follow the guy on YouTube or Twitter. Let's talk about the drama that has been hitting him back to back most recently, which triggered a lot of the backlash against him right now. So, James went to Coachella this year and was spotted with a guy who he was holding hands with and was kissing him on the cheek in Snapchat videos, and just being overall very touchy-feely. Fans being fans, they will always figure out who somebody is, so they pretty quickly put together that this was a guy named Gage, who is an Instagram model. And people kept tweeting James being like, oh, is this your boyfriend? Are you guys dating? And James got pretty heated and made a tweet that basically said, nope, unfortunately, I am still very single. This boy played me for months on end and is a disgusting con artist. I'm thankful I had my friends with me to protect me. Obviously, Gage did not react well to this tweet and posted a response video on YouTube saying essentially that he had always told James that he was straight and that James had tried to coerce him into doing stuff with him.
I'm not gay, I'm not gay. It was a joke, guys, come on, I'm not gay. I'm not gay, I'm not gay. It was a joke, guys, come on, I'm not gay.
I receive a DM from this person. I proceeded to respond as a friend. James then saw this as an opportunity to manipulate me as a person who may or may not have been trying to figure things out about their sexuality.
There's a lot of things in Gage's actions and behaviors that didn't quite match up. I understand, like, he stated that his name had been slandered and that he needed to make a response video to, like, clear his name. But the video wasn't just about clearing his name. Like, for the record, James deleted the tweet. He apologized and said that he should not have made it public. Gage decided to make this video just basically putting the onus of everything onto James and making it sound almost as if he was predatorial in his attempts to turn him, so to speak. Gage contradicts himself a lot in the video. He says, I told him I was straight the entire time.
Like, disregarding the fact that I told him I was straight. Because, as you all know, this person, 99.9, maybe even 100% of the time, goes after heterosexual men.
May or may not have been trying to figure things out about their sexuality.
You realize that every person in this room thinks that you're Alistair's boyfriend? Listen, I can't help it if people think we're a couple. The point is, I'm enjoying myself all my life. I have dreamed of being half of a power couple, and now I finally am. Is it perfect? No! But it's fun, and I don't want it to end.
I may or may not have been trying to explore or figure out my sexuality. You freaking know what you were doing. Yeah, you may be trying to figure out if you're gay or straight or whatever. But, you may or may not have been trying to figure out your sexuality. Which one is it? It's totally fine to be bi-curious and be trying to figure out what you're into versus what you're not into. But be straight up about it in your video. You can't say both things at once. You can't say, I may or may not have been trying to explore my sexuality, and then also at the same time say, I told him I was straight the entire time. Which one is it? These are just inconsistencies in his stories. And, James made a video with Nikita Dragon where he talked about how he had spoken to this guy months via text message. They had built up a relationship, and he had said that he was questioning, not sure exactly what he wanted, and that from James' perspective, it was fine, whatever he wanted to do, that he really liked him, and he was excited to see where things might go between them.
Oh my God, can I ask, are you straight? And he's like, no, I'm bi.
Okay.
So he, right away, told me he was bi. He clarified, and I was like, oh my God, great, down, perfect, beautiful, amazing, no.
This never
no
happens, by
conversion,
the way.
No. Long story short, we watched the movie together, we cuddled, it was everything. At the end of the movie, he was asking about me and hooking up with guys and stuff, because it was his first time ever doing anything with a guy. He told me he had just recently come out.
Okay.
We made out. Literally one of the most magical hours of my entire life. Loved
an
it.
hour of making out.
He was so kind, so sweet. He kept being I'm really nervous. I don't want to do anything further. Fine.
Totally good.
Totally good. No worries. We don't have to do anything. He was out, but he wasn't out to his parents yet. So he's literally like, hey, I just want to let you know, I'm really grateful for everything you helped me with. I actually just came out to my mom last night and told her that I was bi. So thank you so much. And so she was super, super supportive. And I told her that I wanted to come visit you. Mm-hmm. And I've thought about it a lot, and I have talked to her, and I actually think that I am straight, so I'm not going to come.
This explains, I think, a lot of the reason why James came out of this situation feeling very used. Not gonna lie, if I had been talking with a dude for 5 months and then he only hit me up when I could fly him first class out to Coachella, then, was only friendly with me when I was around people who were famous or popular, I'd be hurt too. And I'm not saying this to say that you can't be questioning and decide that you're straight, but own up to it. Do not lie and trash his name saying, you tried to turn me. Dude.
Alistair, I'm afraid I may have given you the wrong impression about myself. Oh, I like you so much, and I love our friendship. But I'm afraid I can never really be more than friends.
Would 3 weeks on Capri in Bertolucci's villa change your mind?
It's worth a try.
You're really out here here trying to say that you let a platonic friend fly you first class out to Coachella, buy you VIP tickets, and sleep in the same room together, kiss him on social media, be very flirtatious with him in public, and that you weren't questioning or bi-curious, that he was forcing all this upon you? I'm sorry, wait. Was James brainwashing you and forcing you to behave this way? Like, you made your choices, dude. Stand by them. You are figuring yourself out. It's fine. It just seems really, really hypocritical to me that people were literally siding with Gage in this and trying to say that, like, it was James's fault for trying to turn a straight man because he made jokes about trying to turn straight guys and has said that he, is very attracted to straight guys. I cannot tell Gage what his sexuality is. I can say that I feel like he was kind of in denial about wanting to explore things inside himself. And if he came out of it feeling like he was more attracted to women or completely attracted to women, that is totally fine. But to paint James as like this predator seems really, really unfair because it is clear that they were exploring where things were going together. This was not a case of James just trying to turn a straight guy. And that is what I am upset about. Yes, it should have remained private. It should not have been brought into the public eye. And that's James's fault. But to crucify him for making an emotional tweet is pretty hypocritical given... Okay, this dude is 19 years old. Do you remember all the stupid stuff that you posted on Twitter when you were 19, people? Good Lord in heaven. I said so much stupid stuff. I tweeted stuff that I regretted and then deleted it. The only difference is that I was allowed to make those mistakes and grow because I didn't have millions and millions of followers scrutinizing everything that I'm doing. And I think that we forget that these are people. Like, these are people with emotions. How many of you have emotionally tweeted? I want you to tell me that you have never posted a tweet shading somebody being peeved off and that you have always kept everything absolutely private. Yeah, James needs to grow up and have some learning lessons here, but maybe this was his learning lesson, and I hate how we hold celebrities to this level of perfection that is just so unrealistic. Like, good Lord in heaven, do any of you judge yourselves as harshly as you do these people? Flash forward, another YouTuber, Tati, posts a Instagram of her crying, saying that she feels super betrayed.
Welcome to show business. Everybody says what they need to say and uses who they need to use to get ahead, and I have had about enough. I've had about enough. It's not right.
Now, people were pretty quick to figure out what she was referencing, as James had just posted an ad for Sugar Bear hair. I think they're like hair, skin, and nail vitamins. I don't know.
I also want to give a quick shout out to Sugar Bear Hair. I met their team weekend one at Coachella, and they really helped me and my friends out with sister security because it was crazy. You guys probably already know about their iconic hair vitamins, but they just came out with brand new vegan sleep vitamins. And first of all, they taste so bomb. But most importantly, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety recently, and it always comes late at night when I'm laying in bed thinking, which is not fun or fresh. So I've been taking these 30 minutes before bed, and they've been really, really helping. So if you guys want to check them out, you can swipe up.
Tati has a brand that is in direct competition with Sugar Bear hair, and it is called Halo. First off, once again, I can understand emotionally posting something, so I didn't get on her at first about it. But can we remember that this woman is in her 30s versus James, who is 19? Who are we going to hold to a higher standard of maturity here? James had an opportunity to make money, and he took it, and you're mad because he made promises to you that he would only promote your brand. Fine, be mad. Talk to him about it in private. James posted an Instagram response of him, tearfully kind of apologizing for making Tati feel betrayed and saying that he felt really bad, that he had received no money for the advertisement, that he had been at Coachella, needed security. They offered to give it to him in exchange for his endorsement. it does seem pretty sus that all of a sudden Sugar Bear Hair was there to save the day and give him, you know, security because he didn't think ahead about needing it. Like, he'd been a celebrity for a while. You probably know what events you're going to need security at. So, was this in the works for a while? Most likely. Did he feel guilty and not want to admit that he had betrayed the promises that he made to his friend? Yeah. Is this crucifiable behavior? I don't really think so. His mistake, I think, was not being straight up with Tati right away and telling her that, yeah, I got a really, really good deal and I'm going to take it and I'm sorry. I know I promised you your brand, but it's business. I'm sorry. Feelings probably would have been hurt, but I tried to honestly think about it from how I would feel. I'd probably be more mad about not being told right away so that I could give a counter offer if I decided to, of like, oh, well, you know, I'll give you a promotion deal if that's what you want. So, yeah, but once again, he's 19. I think that we have all avoided confrontation when we were younger because it's easier just to not deal with it until it just kind of blows up. Does that make what he did okay? No. Does it make it a growing and learning experience? I think so, as long as he actually grows and learns from it. A lot of people were online, including YouTuber Gabriel Zamora.
But what was done? For me, it looks like someone posted IG stories and then someone crying. Only thing I can think of as to why she was upset is because he posted that Sugar Bear Hair thing. Well, that's her #1 competitor. And I'm like, well, Sugar Bear Hair was around before her. Homeboy is exclusive to her? Is that brand? Is that company like done? Oh, is it canceled? Were those Snapchat stories the end all be all of that brand? No. Okay. And it's not even just her crying over vitamins. It's the fact that all these channels and all these people are just continuously like making videos on it, talking about it.
And they were all basically saying that Tati, you know, just needed to get over it and that James didn't owe her exclusivity. So last night, Tati decided to upload a response video and man, it was loaded. Essentially, it called James Charles out for being two-faced, lying to her, and overall letting celebrity get to his head and using it and his power to cancel people.
Fame, power, and a fat bank account will change almost anyone. And if you don't have people that will tell you to your face that you're doing the wrong things, you will change.
Do I think a lot of people who blow up to fame very young let it go to their heads? Absolutely. And I mean, just can you imagine having all of this unlimited success and power? And yeah, you would feel like you could use it to influence people. And a lot of people who aren't quite at a certain maturity level will definitely leverage that to try to get what they want. I just don't believe in canceling somebody over mistakes due to immaturity and ego that has been built up by all of this sudden success. There were a couple of other grievances Tati laid out in her video. One of them being that she felt that James was too sexually explicit and inappropriate.
Him talking explicitly about sex and things that he would like to do, and I was just like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I am used to this around, you know, everyone else, but not his parents. Like, I thought around his parents that he would not behave this way. Like, it was just like, no big deal. And you did it at my birthday dinner. And I made excuses for you then. You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity.
Bitch the fuck, bitch the fuck, bitch the fuck, bitch the fuck, bitch the fuck.
So freaking gross. And you said that in front of my family, in front of my childhood friends. I had to call every one of them up the next morning and apologize on your behalf because it was so uncomfortable.
So here's my thought. You didn't tell him this? You didn't tell him that he needed to not behave this way, that you had to apologize to people. You instead chose to make a YouTube video calling him out for being so sexually explicit and inappropriate. I'm sorry, that rings as really immature. And you're in your 30s. I would genuinely hope that my friend and mentor would tell me, you stepped out of line and I had to go apologize to these people, and I think that you need to apologize to them too. That's called communication. Posting a YouTube video to use it against him is not okay. Another thing that she pointed out was that James had talked about pretty explicit things with his parents at dinner and had crossed lines and boundaries. And listen, everybody has different lines of what they would or wouldn't talk about with their parents. Would I discuss my sex life or sexual preferences with mine? No. Does that mean that he was inherently wrong for that? I mean, I don't know. That's a judgment call. If his mom and dad didn't call him out for discussing things like that with them, that's on them. That's their job to decide that, not yours, Tati. But if you felt so motherly and felt like a mentor to him, then why did you not talk to him afterwards being like, I am not cool with the way that you spoke to your parents? I think that you disrespected them by speaking about such explicit things. And you need to understand these boundaries. That's what a true mom and a true mentor does. They don't go making a YouTube video shaming the other person for being so explicit and inappropriate with their comments. I don't care if he was sitting there talking about sucking cock with his mom for an hour. Guess what? It's his mom's job to call him out. And if you feel so morally put upon or responsible for him that you're not okay with that type of talk, you tell him. You don't publicly shame him about it. And that pisses me off. And apparently the opinion that I have is a rather unpopular one. People are out here saying, James Charles is canceled, he's over. And I think, Tati was very calm and very concise and well worded in her video, which I think is the reason that a lot of people are jumping on her side, on top of that public favor has been swaying against James for a while, given all of the controversies that he's had back to back, and that's on him. But, you can't say that you don't care about using him for celebrity and then simultaneously say, oh, but, he never had me on his channel and he wasn't comfortable promoting certain things by me, even though he promoted these sugar hair care vitamins. Or sugar bear. Oh, something. I can't even remember. Sugar bear, whatever. I said it earlier. I don't need to plug it for them for free. If you're peeved that he took another advertisement, talk to him in person. If you don't think that some of the things that he talks about are appropriate in front of certain people, straight up tell him that this is making you really uncomfortable and it's going to cause a rift in your relationship if he doesn't knock it off. I mean, she stated that she talked to him about pursuing straight guys and that she predicted that there was going to be this huge backlash if he didn't stop the path that he was on. So, good. That is actually an instance where at least you said that you called him out about certain things. But as I've stated my opinion about the whole Gabe drama, I don't think that Gabe was completely innocent here, and I think that James overreacted a little bit too. But it's pretty clear cut that they were at least pursuing the possibility of a relationship together, and I think James had every right to be hurt about him suddenly flipping it on him. And if you read the leaked text messages, James makes it pretty clear that they were talking and FaceTiming and flirting with each other for 5 months. So it is not as if James is crazy and delusional for thinking that, he might be bisexual and into him. And then, I'm sorry to reemphasize it again, I'm going to go be flown out first class to Coachella, share a room with my platonic friend, and kiss on him and be very PDA with him the entire weekend, but he tried to force me to be gay. Okay, Gabe, whatever you gotta say.
All right, I'm going to put an end to this discussion because there is nothing to discuss. On my way home from the gym, I popped into Bad Billy's, looking for a man I was hoping was in the bathroom. As for how I got into another man's shorts, that is no one's business.
And another thing that she said that felt very shaming and that I wasn't a big fan of was that, he was too overtly sexual for his audience of mostly young people, and that it was inappropriate for him to be behaving so overtly sexually. I'm sorry. Who made you the police of people's sexuality? As you said yourself, it's not up to you, James, to decide if somebody's gay or straight or bi or anything in between. When did it become up to you, Tati, to decide how sexual somebody wants to make their image? The number of artists who presented themselves pretty sexually before they were 18 or very, very barely 18 goes on. Just because they have young fan bases does not mean that they're entitled to behave a certain way around them. And it actually upsets me that you're trying to use that to shame him because, listen, James Charles can do whatever he wants with his platform. He can be as sexual or as kid-friendly as he wants to. If his audience is mostly 12 to 14-year-olds, guess what? It is on their parents to decide whether or not they're cool with their children consuming his media. You don't get to tell him what he can do or not do with his fame. Straight up, it's nobody's job except for his own. And honestly, I find it pretty rich that you're out here saying you don't care about having to plug Halo because, like, it stands on its own and you're making all of this money off of it. But you spent the last 4 minutes of your video talking about how you're improving upon previous hair, skin, and nail vitamins. And, you know, you are just committed to investing money rather than into advertisements than into, you know, just making the best product that you can make. Like, you talking about this in a video which has James Charles' name in it is not going to promote your beauty product. You're sitting there plugging it and acting like you're not plugging it. You're getting free publicity. Why would you pay for it when you're getting free publicity by talking about him? Yeah. But no, none of this is about wanting to create controversy to sell your vitamins. Were you probably hurt on some level? Yeah. Did you need to take it public? No. Should you have made a video about it after you made the we're gonna say mistake of talking about it on Instagram? No, you should not have.
Miss Frizzle.
I'm sorry, I'm making a YouTube video. You're interrupting me.
Sorry.
I'm talking about YouTube drama. And people are literally out here hate buying your vitamins right now. And you are seeing all of the hate that he is getting, and you're not bothering to lift a finger to say, I just made this video to tell my side of the story. Please don't send James Charles this hate. Please, you know, don't let this ruin his career. I just had to air my grievances because I was worried that my career was going to be hurt. That's literally all you had to do, and you can't even do that because you're getting exactly what you want. You're getting your vitamins bought. Honestly, this is so petty. This is so stupid. It feels like a really, really big, elaborate attempt at creating drama for the sake of plugging your own brand. YouTubers have a long history of manufacturing drama for the sake of plugging their products. And, like, look at it. Sugar Bear Hair and Halo's vitamins are getting a ton of publicity now. Like I said, people are out there hate buying these vitamins. Where do I stand on this? Assuming that it's not a publicity stunt. Tati is a grown-ass woman in her 30s. She has no business putting all of this in a public video. I don't care about this. I'm scared that he's going to ruin my career. You can make a public statement. You don't have to make a video divulging all the personal details of why you're not friends anymore. All you have to do is say, this was a huge misunderstanding. Didn't mean to come across petty. There's stuff going on behind closed doors that I don't want to talk about, but we will work it out privately. And it is nobody's business. The issues that we're having right now, we will resolve them privately. It's literally it. That's called being mature. You claim that you're so forgiving and so grown up, but yet you're out here, in my opinion, using his name to get views. And the biggest thing I can't stand is a hypocrite. And it worked. People are out here hating on James Charles left and right. I think that, like, people are saying he lost, I think, up to 500,000 subscribers. I mean, yeah, you got him. You got him real good. Does it feel good? Because if it does, I'm seriously concerned about your character as a human being. Straight up. This was just so intense, and it made me really mad. I don't like seeing people bullied. Does James deserve to be called out? Does he need to do some growing up? I certainly think so. Does he deserve this level of hate? No. People make mistakes. I don't think that he was sexually assaulting anybody. That has never been brought into the conversation, so why are we calling him some trash predator? Because he made some mistakes, letting his celebrity go to his head and tried to pursue guys who were straight. I don't think that makes him trash, as long as he owns up to it and stops. In conclusion, celebrity cancel culture needs to stop over stupid petty stuff like this, because it's now actually, in my opinion, being used to market products, and we're all falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. This is ridiculous. Did Tati do completely right? No. Did James do completely right? No. Did Gage do completely right? No. Are they all human beings? Yes. Can we forgive people for messing up and let them learn? I think so. I want to end this video by saying, hold yourself to the standards that you're holding all of these other people to, because goodness gracious, I'm not as good of a person as people seem to expect celebrities to be, and I try to be the best person I can be. Like, I try to hold myself accountable, but I freaking mess up. If I had somebody going around with a camera documenting every time I fall short, good Lord in heaven, I'd be canceled real fast. And I don't think I'm a very bad person at all. So what does that say? Give people the kindness, love, and acceptance that you would want for yourself is my ultimate message. Do not buy into this stupid drama that is going to blow over in a couple of weeks. And to James, I'm actually sorry that you're facing all of this hate online, because it's not fair and nobody freaking deserves that. Anyways, that's just my thoughts on the situation. Bye, y'all.